This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, a plan to develop Dunedin's waterfront with a conference centre and hotel receives a warm welcome from the public. A new police and iwi initiative hopes to steer young whānau away from the path of criminal convictions. And we meet Akira Cotton, an 8-year-old Dunedin boy who aims to educate peers about diabetes. Good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. Dunedin people seem confident about a proposed waterfront hotel and that it will go ahead. The vote of confidence comes despite the fact previous plans for a large-scale redevelopment in the area have failed to materialise. Roselle Labone reports.
The plans for a multi-million-dollar development on Dunedin's Otago Harbour waterfront were unveiled at the weekend. Developed by local architect Damien van Brandenburg, the proposal includes a waterfront with hotel and conference centre, marine education centre designed in the shape of a whale's tail, and a fully accessible town centre via new cycleways, walkways and a bridge linking to the area. Private plans for a 5-star hotel development have previously failed, including a plan for a 17-storey hotel this year. But Dunedin residents say the new plan can work.
I think if a council's doing it, it'd be very tricky to get the funding, but if a private individual is willing to do it, it'd probably be good as gold, yeah.
We're a pretty conservative group of people in the city, and I think that it's hard to get new things underway, but I think we do need to do something because I think our foreshore is a bit sad and lacking, and the city needs to take opportunities to get into the 21st century.
Never say never. It just needs a few people to buy into it.
Probably be a good thing for Dunedin. Give Auckland a run for its money.
Challenges for people to, especially for something of this sort of magnitude. But I think that, the wharf, I think there's a lot of people in Dunedin who also think the wharf area needs some work.
If it works good. I'm all for development and look what happened to the stadium. A lot of detractors from that, and it's worked out okay. So good for the people who are pushing it.
Whether this plan is exactly what Dunedin can cope with, I'm not so sure, but it certainly has some appeal to it. But it'll run its course. I'm sure it'll be quite a few years before we see anything that comes out of it.
Architect Van Brandenburg says the proposal focuses on the edges of the basin to avoid any conflict with surrounding industrial businesses. Roselle Labone, The South Today.
The New Zealand Transport Agency is advising people to expect delays of an hour tomorrow due to scheduled rock blasting work at the Nevis Bluff, midway between Cromwell and Queenstown. The blasting work started today as part of the ongoing safety and monitoring of the bluff, involving abseil inspections and rock scaling to remove loose debris and unstable rock. The NZTA is advising motorists to expect extended delays between 1 and 2 p.m. tomorrow. Invercargill Police and the Ngākete Matauranga Pounamu Charitable Trust are teaming up to create an alternative way to deal with low-level offenders. Ngākete hopes the new iwi and community panels program will steer whānau away from a path of criminal convictions. Sharon Rees has more.
Assistant Police Commissioner Wallace Homaha was in Invercargill yesterday talking to Ngākete staff and police about the benefits of establishing an iwi community panel. Turning the Tide is a project New Zealand Police have been rolling out through the country over the past 3 years, and he says Southland will benefit from its introduction.
This is an awesome opportunity to prevent reoffending or to look at taking people out of the criminal justice system and looking at how they can work with an offender around changing behaviour. And the value of the program has proved really successful. It showed that we can reduce offending in the 17 to 24-year-old age bracket by 11.9%.
He says Ngākete will help police with their goal of reducing the Māori reoffending rate 25% by 2025.
That's a huge lofty goal, but it's one we think we can achieve by looking at working with key providers such as Ngākete and other organisations across the country who have really stood up and showed their willingness to be able to work, provide the right services in the right places, and to direct people, challenge them into something positive where they can have better outcomes in their life.
The process will involve panel members, the participant and whānau who will discuss the offence committed. The panel will then take a problem-solving approach to decide the level of reparation and make their recommendations. Homaha says up to 10 panels will be operating through the country by December. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Construction of Arrowtown's long-awaited sports and community facility is expected to begin early next year. Work has begun on the building platform, with the Queenstown Lakes District Council providing up to $1 million towards the construction of the multi-use facility. The finished building will include a bar, kitchens, changing rooms, showers, toilets and function spaces. Improvements to Arrowtown's sports fields are also in the works, with public consultation planned for March and April next year. Today is World Diabetes Awareness Day. An 8-year-old Dunedin boy who was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes earlier this year hosted an awareness day at his school. Young Akira Cotton hopes to educate people about the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Apart from his blue hair, Akira Cotton is just like any other boy his age, except for the fact he's got type 1 diabetes. Hi, I'm Daryl Baser from The South Today on World Diabetes Day, November the 14th. About to meet Akira Cotton, who was diagnosed earlier this year with type 1 diabetes. Let's see if we can track the young man down. Finding him in the playground, Akira shows us what he's got to carry with him, as well as school books, and explains the insulin injections he's got to have around 6 times a day.
You can do it in your thigh, I'm pretty sure, which is really disgusting. And in your stomach. I do it in my stomach and sometimes it bleeds and it really feels horrible, but it's alright. Usually it's good.
He wrote a report outlining the differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes for his school. Akira says the diagnosis changed his life, as he wasn't feeling fit and healthy.
Better, much better than I was originally.
What sort of things were happening for you when you first, before you found out that's what you had?
Felt really tired, weak, really angry, couldn't really do much.
Akira Cotton hopes people can learn the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, especially when it comes to funding. He understands both versions of the illness are under the same funding umbrella. But he says type 1 just happens to people, whereas type 2 typically comes as a result of poor dietary choices. Daryl Baser, The South Today. Still to come on The South Today, we take a look at the Southern Institute of Technology's Emerging Artists Awards, and we find out who put the pedal to the metal the best at the weekend's motorsport event at Highlands.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Circopolis, a crossroads between imagination and reality, limits and possibilities. Don't miss Circopolis, described as Cirque du Soleil's hipper, sexier cousin at the Regent. 12 performing artists combine the worlds of circus, dance and theatre. This is your only chance to see this extraordinary show by Montreal Cirque Éloise in Dunedin at the Regent, 23rd to 26th of November. Book now at the box office or Ticket Direct.
At the Otago SPCA, our role is to make sure that all animals in Dunedin and the Otago region are being looked after properly. Otago SPCA offer a haven for animals in need and adoption opportunities for the community. We appreciate your interest and support. For help and advice, we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you have any concerns, give us a call.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillians will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillians, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
My Els and I just love coming to Alex Campbell's. That's my favourite shop. I always get good value here, and good boys really deserve good brands and good quality. Look at these teas. Local beaches on some of them too. This is only for the good boys, the old boys, the young boys. What about some bright shorts for the boys? Excellent.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell menswear, it fits.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Tane. Not now, man. I'm panicking. Come on, mate. I know just what you need. In here? No. Is this it? No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
Welcome back. The Southern Institute of Technology held its annual South Shore Emerging Artists Awards exhibition last night. The exhibition showcased projects of every arts student at SIT and was followed by an awards ceremony and screening event. Sharon Rees has more.
Art in all its forms was on display at the Southern Institute of Technology last night to celebrate a year's work completed. The projects of every student from the film, animation and visual arts courses were displayed on walls, television screens and hidden away in dark rooms. Master of Ceremonies Corey Whaamano says the pieces submitted for this year's exhibition were of a particularly high calibre.
We've got a real combination of all of these different years doing so much work, and I mean, like, the quality of each work, you can just go to each one, it's outstanding. It's outstanding, the sort of work that we've seen this year in particular. So yeah, I think every student here that's submitted work and has it presented should be really proud of themselves.
During the awards ceremony, Co-Master of Ceremonies and first-year student Nina Lee Simpson was surprised by receiving the Excellence in Animation Award, which included an internship with Wellington-based company Mechanic Animation. But it was first-year Bachelor of Screen Arts student Marcus Borowski who stole the show, winning the overall Emerging Artist Award, which included a $2,000 cash prize. SIT Chief Executive Penny Simmons says the event is a great way to see how students are progressing.
You see how much the students have progressed. It's great to see how personal they make it, and you hear a little bit about their background and why they're going on this journey, and it's just a really nice way to round out the year and see the work that they've accumulated over the year.
The awards were followed by the Flick screening event, which showed the projects of film and animation students. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Cromwell's annual endurance motor race was held over the weekend. The South Today joined the crowds to watch some very pricey vehicles speed around the track.
Audis, Mercedes-Benz and McLarens were all lined up to duel it out for 501 kilometres around the Highlands Motorsport Park track in Cromwell on Saturday. Each car in this endurance race required 2 drivers taking turns, plus a Le Mans-style run by the drivers at the beginning of the race. Chief Operating Officer Josie Spillane was enthusiastic about the occasion.
We opened the park officially in 2013 with this, our marquee event, and to be standing here 5 years on celebrating again some of the most incredible racing that you can see in New Zealand has just been phenomenal.
As always with motor racing, some cars exit the track in disgrace. Race contenders Tim Miles and Jackson Evans had their white Audi taken out of the race after a mishap ripped the tyre from the right rear wheel.
You see Jackson Evans losing a tyre going under the bridge, and that robbed him of his championship. Like, that is true heartbreak material.
As the race went on, the public could inspect some other privately owned sports cars on display, including some very rare classics. The duo of Peter Hackett and Dominic Story ended up in the lead with their black Mercedes-Benz, only to have suspension problems with a mere 5 laps to go. As a result, Saturday's win went to the team of Max Twigg and Tony Diliberto in their green Mercedes-Benz. Spillane said this was the last year the park would hold an Australian Grand Tourer race.
We've created a fantastic reputation for delivering an event that you can't see anywhere else. Aussie GTs have put that stake in the ground for us. They've assisted us with setting the level of entertainment that we want to deliver to people. But now we want to spend the time investing in our Kiwi stars in the sport in New Zealand and really elevating some of these amazing drivers that we have here in New Zealand and make them the heroes of our show.
The racetrack looks set to see plenty more endurance races in the future, though no longer with Grand Tourer race cars. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, we meet an Invercargill filmmaker who won a national award.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
My Els and I just love coming to Alex Campbell's. That's my favourite shop. I always get good value here, and good boys really deserve good brands and good quality. Look at these teas. Local beaches on some of them too. This is only for the good boys, the old boys, the young boys. What about some bright shorts for the boys? Excellent.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference. And Gillian's know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillian's will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillian's, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
At the Otago SPCA, our role is to make sure that all animals in Dunedin and the Otago region are being looked after properly. Otago SPCA offer a haven for animals in need and adoption opportunities for the community. We appreciate your interest and support. For help and advice, we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you have any concerns, give us a call.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Thanks for staying with The South Today. An Invercargill filmmaker has won a top award in the National 48-Hour Film Competition. James Wilkinson's work as director of photography in the film The Black Ballet was recognised as the best of the best at a function in Auckland on Saturday night. Sharon Rees has more.
In just 48 hours, Team Super Furious Ninja Dragons managed to put together this film. The Black Ballet made it to the 48-hour film finals after Sir Peter Jackson chose it as a wildcard. A chance which led to a big win for Director of Photography James Wilkinson.
The film was really well received. We got so many people talking to us and also so many people that were so really excited and surprised that Invercargill had come all the way up and had such a great showing. So it was really cool for that. And yeah, and then really shocked and honoured to have won the Cinematography Award.
Wilkinson said after seeing the other films in line for the award, he had an idea of who might win, but was shocked when the curtain was pulled and his name was on the screen.
There was like 8 films that were nominated and I was kind of like, oh, it's going to be between those two there, I reckon. And then it said James Wilkinson. I was like, whoa, what? And then so they were like, oh, come down, give a speech, give a speech.
He said the film was well received by the audience, who seemed to enjoy the film's twist ending.
There was definitely a lot of laughter in the crowd watching the film, and then the ending, which I won't, give away, but it definitely got the response that we were hoping.
Wilkinson works in productions for the Southern Institute of Technology and said the majority of the team either worked for or was studying at the Institute.
It speaks volumes for the talent of people that is here in Invercargill, and it's definitely a growing industry locally that we're really happy to be a part of.
The Black Ballet will be uploaded to the 48-hour film screening room page in the next week. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Dunedin people say they have confidence in an ambitious plan to develop Dunedin's waterfront with a conference centre and hotel. Invercargill Police and the Ngākete Matauranga Panamu Charitable Trust are teaming up to create an alternative way to deal with low-level offending. And an 8-year-old Dunedin boy who was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes earlier this year hosted an awareness day at his school. And now time for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Good evening, Phil Somerville.
Yeah, hi Daryl. Here's a small sample. The fresh pages tomorrow, 3 of them, and the front page is dominated by a big feature headed Creating the Tastes of Summer, and it's got some excellent advice about keeping it simple. Lots of advice about barbecuing, most of the stuff we might think we know, but it's handy to be reminded. So I found that interesting reading just before I came here.
Always good to get advice about food.
It is indeed. We've another story. We went up to Ranfurly today, a photographer and videographer, and took a picture of a 101-year-old driving around Ranford. He still drives. So it's not bad.
Wow, everyone came back unscathed?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, very good indeed. Now, the Dunedin signs, we understand that the gold ones, the Gothic lettering, will be replacing those. Now, that'll be popular with some people and unpopular with others.
Indeed. It's always a bit contentious, the old Gothic wording.
It is. It's distinctive anyway, isn't it? And the university's elected a new chancellor today, so look for that as well in tomorrow's paper.
Cool, thanks for that, Phil. And now time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silberhorn Collagen Plus.
Beginning with the situation, a very static weather pattern is lining up for this week, with a large anticyclone or high pressure area bringing mostly fine weather to the region for this week and into the weekend. Looking down south, Clutha, Catlins, Lumsden and Gore can all look forward to light winds, fine weather and a high of 15 degrees. Going westwards to central, everyone there can expect light winds and fine weather. Alexandra can expect 20 degrees, Wanaka 18, Queenstown 17 and Te Anau 14. Travelling up north, Oamaru and Timaru have afternoon easterlies, should be fine with 15 degrees. Omarama and Twizel could be very much the same with 18 degrees. And here in Dunedin tonight, expect some low cloud with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Tomorrow the low cloud clears and we should have sunny periods during the day with light northeasterly winds developing. Expect pleasant temperatures. Some low cloud is due to return tomorrow night with a high of 15 and low of 6. We can expect similar weather on Thursday, mostly fine with sunny periods by day and low cloud at night. Light winds from the easterly quarter, 15 and 7 the temperatures. And in Invercargill tonight, expect some cloud with an overnight low of just 5 degrees. Tomorrow should remain mostly fine with sunny and just patchy low cloud at night. Light winds and pleasant temperatures, high of 14 and a low of 5. Invercargillians can expect the same for Thursday with a high of 15 and a low of 5. And that wraps up this Tuesday's edition of The South Today. For the latest news, you can follow our team on Facebook and channel39.co.nz. Thanks for watching. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.